Alicia Davis, how the hell are you?
Hey Jesse, I'm good.
Good to see. It's good. Like most everybody that I'm talking to that I've been recording lately, I haven't seen them like in months and months. But you're like part of like my little what we like to call our quarantine,
Yeah,
right? Like the select few who I trust are doing their best, and so like I don't mind hanging out with you every once in a while. So I've seen you a few times in the last couple of months, but it's always so nice to see you because we kind of started comedy at the same time.
yeah, we did. We started in our class. I know. I'm glad that we're still in the bubble of safety. So it's nice that we get to see each other.
Oh, I like it, the ball of safety.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. I think it's been 2 years now. Was it 2 years since our
It's
class?
gonna be, yeah, I think it was like right about this time. I think the class started like the first week of September.
Yeah.
As I want to say that like September 30th is like the day that I did my first set at the comedy spot. Like I had done like two sets because like class was 4 weeks long. I had done two sets in class, and then I knew we were 2 weeks away from the performance, which would have been at the comedy spot, and I didn't want that to be my first time at the comedy spot, so I went like a week before the graduation performance. And did you? I can't believe how nervous I used to get, like being on stage. Did you get nervous at first?
Oh my gosh, totally. And I still do. Like it still gets me really stressed out, and I have to like do a lot of deep breathing and do the like Superman pose before like take up as much space as you possibly can.
Uh huh.
Why it gets me stressed. But after just starting, um, as long as my mind doesn't start to wander when I'm talking, I can maintain a coolness. But if I start thinking about stuff, I need to like consciously say like knock it the fuck off, Alicia, or you're gonna like blank out and forget something.
Yeah, I remember. I still do. Yeah, I still get stressed out about sets, but I remember like my knees would just start shaking, like, and it really felt that like my knees were going like this. Like that's what it felt like to me, like those first handful of times. And like you said, yeah, now I have to get, I do get stressed, but I don't get like to where like I'm shaking, scared.
Yeah.
Um, that's some primitive fear, man. That we
Well,
first.
it's good. I mean, now I'm happier. I think when I was very first starting, I like was like consciously made the decision, oh, I won't drink before doing this because I don't want it to become like a crutch to
Hmm.
where it's like giving me the confidence, and then I am just attributing any sort of success or good times to like having a buzz going, you know.
Right.
But then when I started going more frequently, and it kind of did happen where it was like, oh, we're gonna turn this into social time too, you know, like that was when after that I was getting that like false confidence, and that's when I was like, okay, I've got to stop drinking before doing this because it's not helping. I think it's like hurting me in the end.
Yeah, when I first started doing comedy, I would have a beer or two
Yeah,
before the set, but now, and I was slow, like I already wasn't like a big drinker at that point. Um, but I was able to tell like the little difference it was making me have, like, and it wasn't helping me. So then, like doing comedy really was one of the things that just made me make up my mind of like, okay, I guess I'm not a drinker anymore. You
yeah,
know?
it helped me too. It definitely helped. I noticed when because I think for like I'd say a good year and a half, I or no, about a year, a good year, I was like giving it a go, still like drinking and doing sets and stuff. But even in retrospect, like I see how I was laughing at my own jokes a lot harder than I probably should have.
I feel like
You
that's
know,
so
like,
funny.
yeah, just having, just being way more relaxed about it. I'm sure I was saying, like every 3 words. Now, now it's easier to sort of, it's almost like you have to watch yourself from this outside camera to keep all of the ums suppressed and just stay on track.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people still talk about how they how I think it was Robert Emoto who said that at first he recorded the audio of his sets and he would listen to the audio, but then he got to where he likes recording the video because like once he broke himself of the um then he noticed he was doing things like sticking his hands in his pockets or like fidgeting with the microphone cord. I have a thing about like rolling up the microphone cord like I'm getting ready to strangle somebody. um, at a Chris Smith pointed that out to me one night. He's like, "Man, dude, it looked like you were getting ready to strangle somebody with that microphone cord." And I was like, "Oh shit, is that the impression I'm giving off of here?" Like, so I try to not do that anymore. But and it also I can't get high before I do a set either because then my mind just wanders and like you said, like I'm laughing at my own. I'll start laughing before I even finish the jokes. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are gonna love this one.
Yeah, I think I had a gummy one time with Emily Peterson. We went to an open mic, oh Vince's, okay, and I had
Okay.
a gummy before that, and that was like I got on stage, and all of a sudden I felt like the nervousness. Like I hadn't felt that until like unless it reminded me of when I had to do like public speaking assignments in like high school and college. Like I was just like, oh, this is fucking horrible. I can't do that.
You recently got to do a set at a real comedy club.
Oh, I know. So after 6 months off, so I think,
Has it been that long?
yeah, it was that long because, oh, wait, maybe it was 5. I thought it was 6 though when I counted. So it was the beginning of March.
Okay.
And that was the last one I did. And it was crazy too because it felt like I really uh, built up a good set and was starting to get all this momentum. And that month was the first time I got booked at the Sacramento Punchline, and then
Yeah.
I ended up having 2 more bookings that month at the Sacramento Punchline, and it was crazy. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting all that steam. It's exciting, and ended up getting to do 2 of those shows, and then everything just stopped. So it was like whatever. But the show we did on Tuesday night in Rohnert Park, it felt so good. It just was like amazing to get out there and I don't know, get to do a set.
Was it like riding a bike? Did you feel like you picked up right? Because were you able to do like any open mics before this?
No, so nope, I wasn't. But see, when we had that brief opening in July or June to July,
Yeah.
I was booked on a show that comedy congregation,
Oh,
and
that's right. Right.
yeah, and that was going to happen in July. But what happened was that day, the governor shut everything down. So it was
Right.
like, it was 2 o'clock that day. And I was like, oh, well, that's not happening. But I had spent the, week before that completely obsessing over it and practicing. So the like 3 or 4 days before this show on Tuesday, when I was running through it, it wasn't like I hadn't thought about it for 6 months. Like I had practiced it for a week in July.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. And what did you do? Did you do new material or did you stick with what got you here? And what was
Well,
that like?
I built off of it. So I did a 15 minutes, which was the first time I
What?
did 15. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was cool. I took my regular 10 that I built, and then I put in. You were in the class, so when we did the storytelling at the Punchline, Johnny's class,
Yes.
uh, at the Punchline, and then I wrote the set for Love, my Love Horse set, that where I talk about walking in on my parents having sex.
Uh-huh.
My favorite movie being Pretty Woman when I was a little kid. And then I sort of took 5 minutes from that set and put it in my like set 10 that I already had.
Uh-huh.
And it flowed well too. It went well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. 15. I mean, I remember the first time Tina San Lucas let me headline the first Dope Room show. And
I was there.
and fucking 15 minutes, like it was like everything I had. Like I was like going through my notebooks, like, oh fuck, this is 30 seconds. All right, this is
Jesse,
and
I think you were up there for ages. Like I think Tina by that point was like high and running around like just chatting it up with everybody. I'm like, I don't think Tina's ever gonna give Jesse the light here.
but I think it came in just under 15 minutes. I have it recorded and it came in just under 15 minutes, but um yeah, it sucked in March when they shut everything down because I felt the same way that you felt of like um this is really going good and like we were picking up shows and we did Punchline and I was about to do SF Punchline and we just had a really good momentum. We had just come back from uh, that show in Chico
Oh yes.
where we got to open for Johnny and Keith and
Yeah.
man, that night was that drive to Chico, being in Chico, the set, that was probably my funnest night in comedy. Like right there, like
You killed that night. You killed so hard. That was awesome.
you know what I'll never forget about that night? Because you know how like when you're having a great set, when you're having a horrible set, you're having a horrible set. You're like, well, let me try this, and they're like not laughing at anything. Like that night, like about I don't know, maybe like a minute and 30 into it, I was like, I think I'm having a good set. I think I'm having a good set. And then like it just like I walked off and I was like, I think I had a really good set. Like I felt good about the set. But I'll never forget, like I walked off and I went back to where we were and fucking Johnny Taylor like hugged me like I had just hit a home run. And he's just like he put his arm around me and he's like, dude, you fucking killed. And then Tina told me that during my set that he walked over to her and said, Jesse's fucking warming these motherfuckers up for you. Like he was like, he's been in the game so long. Like when like I've watched baseball so long and I've watched football so long, like you can tell when something good is happening, and I'm like, I think having John.
The coach was like,
yeah, I was so happy that I made Coach proud that day. Like it was a great set. It was a great set. It was a great night. And having Johnny in our corner early, like really helped give me a lot of confidence,
yeah,
because his feedback is so genuine,
yeah. And it's like such smart comedy. Like I love the storytelling format. And then, so yeah, you're right. It was such a, I don't know, blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? How'd you deal with that just being taken away all of a sudden? Or is it? But no, okay. Here's one thing I want to ask you. Okay, is it different for a mom because like comedy got taken away from me and like that's it. Like that's what I had. Like I have my dog, my job, and comedy, right?
Yeah.
And it got taken away from me, and just all of a sudden, I just like I told you, I was going here, and when it got taken away, I just went wow, right? But do moms just not have time to let that like that negativity get a hold of them, or how did you handle that?
Well, I think Jesse, I still have been the most committed TV watcher this past 6 months. It is unreal. I've seen every show on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. So That was a lot of help. But yeah, I had my kids. When I'm not doing that, I also have to take care of my kids. And but they go to their dad's almost half the week.
Oh, okay.
So during that time, that's when I really get to binge watch a lot of TV. And I guess I wasn't, you know, it almost makes it hard to want to write a lot too, because even when I go back and look at like my, because now I probably have like two journals from the last 6 months,
Hmm.
and just all the little notes that are made, like, oh, this could be something funny, like this could be turned into a joke, like not having the opportunity to um, go to an open mic, I guess, like within the certain window of time after writing that note, that sucks because it kind of feels like a lot of like missed opportunities there to turn
Yeah.
it into like a real joke. Um, but not just, oh, and so Love Horrors, we
Oh,
did,
yes.
yeah, so I was able to then put a lot of energy into Love Horrors, which kind of, so we, right before the shutdown, we had a live show that was scheduled at the Comedy Spot, and that got canceled. And once it became very clear that that was not coming back, we decided that we would record our sets, because we had this like vision of the show being the core, like the core members writing basically like a new 7 to 10 minutes every time we'd have the show, and it would be love, relationship, family, whatever related, you know. And so we all had these sets that we had written, and so we just decided to record them, and uh, that's when we put out the first webisode of Love Horrors.
Okay, so let's catch people up really quick. So, love horrors. It's such a great play on words. I have my love horrors cat back there. Look, uh,
Oh,
yeah. Um, love horrors started off as it was just like a stand-up show, and the theme for the comics was sharing their horrific love stories. Right? You
yes,
guys, I think you guys called yourselves love addicts, and
yes,
this time it's about me or something like that, right?
yes,
And so the first love horror show was like you, Emily Peterson, Carolyn Martin.
yeah,
Was it
yeah,
just you three?
just us three.
And when was that first show? Was that like in November, December?
I think it was in February.
Oh, it was in February because it was right around Valentine's Day, huh?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then we had the next one scheduled for March.
Wow. So it was just a baby when you
Yeah.
guys got stopped. When you started Love Horrors, had you envisioned it to be what it has morphed into?
No, not at all. Like, because not at all. Because see, Jesse, I am not like an actress or have that kind of like background at all. And like sketch comedy, I still feel like, okay, I am the weakest link here.
Stop it. But I think we all do that to ourselves. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that it's sort of transformed into mostly sketch comedy, believe me, I'm trying to like hold on to having like a stand-up element to it, and I think that we can accomplish that with like sort of the quirky little cartoons that we can write, or even the Emily's Playmation, where it's like you're telling a story and then you just have the pictures kind of
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
with. You don't have to do this, because sketch is really like hard to I think it's really hard to make it like knock you over funny. Like I love Kate McKinnon. Like she is probably my
Yes, I
most,
love her.
yeah, she is my favorite person to watch. I'll watch her in anything. Um, but I mean, she blows me away. It's like I don't even know how they come up with this stuff.
It's a lot of, but I think even with like, so what we have to remind ourselves, like when we are just in awe of people like Kate McKinnon and Kristen Wiig and Tina Fey, is that it's a lot of trial and error, right? And we're seeing like the years and years and years of failures. We're seeing the best of that, you know.
Yeah.
So we have to remember that like we're gonna miss a lot of shots we take,
Yeah.
but some of the stuff is gonna land, and some of the stuff is gonna be gold. And I absolutely have loved. I've looked forward to every new Love Horrors, like with like I I I'm a fanboy, like from the beginning. Like you know how I am, right? Like I latch on to something, like I want to know everything about it. It takes everything I have to not ask Emily every day, when's the next Love Horse coming out? When's the next Love Horse coming out? When is it coming? Can I take a what do you got? What like I want to like know everything, and like I can't wait to like every time I know you guys are close to finishing an episode, I'm like I want to ask her, but I don't want to like bug like every day. Um,
We meet on Tuesday nights, so it's cool. Uh, we've, we've written 2 new sketches. We want to focus on our next episode being like Halloween themed, and so the next 2 sketches are funny. She can let you see the scripts for those.
okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we have a Love Horror sketch queued up over here on the second monitor. I'm gonna share the screen and we're gonna watch it. And this is the opening sketch of Love Horrors episode 5. Can you
Yeah.
believe we're already on episode 5?
No, 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 I can't. And this episode, I love this episode. This one was all sketch, but this first clip is just hilarious. So for background on it, we're gonna watch the uh, Vajudo sketch, which was a concept that Emily came up with after she heard some hilarious interview on NPR, and then I think it was Morgan came up with the idea. So also backtracking, Carol Lynn is not doing Love Horse anymore just because she's had to move, and uh, but it actually it coincided at the same time that Morgan Anderson joined the group, and so we're really happy that Morgan's part of the team too. It's amazing.
I freaking love Morgan. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I love all of you, like how well you guys complement each other, you know, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's a great mixture. But
Yeah.
okay, let's because I want to just keep talking about Morgan now.
So Morgan came up with the idea you're going to see in the sketch of the Jeep, and right when she said right when she came up with this idea, we were all like, "Oh, this is brilliant."
Okay,
So,
so let's cue this up here.
Hey, I didn't see you there. Are you getting what you need in the bedroom? Probably not. What if I told you you could have stronger, longer lasting orgasms? What if I told you you could sneeze without peeing a little? I'm Virginia Strong, founder and CEO of Vajudo, a revolutionary pelvic floor training system. Your pelvic floor muscles support your lady bits like a hammock. Over time, these muscles can weaken, leaving you incontinent and insecure. The Vajudo pelvic floor training system strengthens these muscles, resulting in a pelvic floor that just won't quit.
before starting Vajudo, when I coughed, tampons would shoot out of me like a Nerf gun. We're not talking about light day tampons here either. Talking supers. When I first started the program, I would struggle to lift even the lightest of objects. But look at me now. Look this up.
Before Vajudo, the few orgasms I did have lacked in duration and intensity. But now, the fellas can't get enough of me, even though I'm leaving their dicks black and blue. A pig's orgasm lasts for 30 minutes. Why shouldn't yours? Order today. For $19.99, you'll get the patented Vajudo Yanni egg. But if you order right now, you'll get the industrial Yanni egg with Kevlar string for increased lifting capacity. At Vajudo, your vagina is our business. Call today.
Okay, I stopped sharing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, and then that goes into the baby shower sketch.
Yeah, guy's baby shower, which was hilarious.
That was so. There was what was so much fun about that day was that that was the first time in months that I hung out with people, aside from you and the little core group. So that was the first time I'd seen Buddy. That was the first time I'd seen Mark. It was great. It was great.
I think that was the first time Mark had been out in 5 months.
Yeah, it was weird. And you know what? At the end of that day, I told Emily, I was exhausted. I hadn't had that much stimuli. Because here at home, it's the 2 dogs and Emily, and that's it. And, the dogs don't talk back, obviously. There's so many things I loved in episode, so many subtle things that I loved in episode 5. 2 of them I'm going to point out. One was, I don't remember the name of the sketch, but the sketch ends with Morgan in a bathtub trying to look really cool and take a sip of her glass of wine. And she makes it super awkward because she can't you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse Viagra.
Oh my God, that was super funny. Just that whole
when she's in effervescence.
the whole sequence of her trying to look cool, sipping the wine was hilarious. And then another sketch, it cracked me up at, I think you're playing yourself as a little kid, and the Eminem poster on the wall.
Yeah.
I was cracking up at the fucking Eminem poster on the wall. I was like, who the...
I was madly in love with him when I
Were
was...
you?
Yes. Yes.
So were you full on teenage Alicia Davis at that point? Was that, or were you high school? Where were you? College?
So that story is probably from when I was maybe 18 or 19. Yeah. So, but no, my freshman year of college, I did have 2 Eminem posters plastered up on my wall that I would, I don't even know, fantasize about marrying Eminem.
Did you want to marry him and go back to Detroit? Was that the life you wanted?
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man.
I would be so happy in Detroit.
I was there's something about him.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I love Eminem still to this day. Any new Eminem album is a mandatory listen. And
yeah,
I mandatory have to listen to it. But what I find myself with rap these days is that I'm not that angry anymore, But then that's the same thing with me with I loved 9 Inch Nails, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not that angry anymore. Same thing with Rage Against the Machine. I had that time in my life where oh, this is exactly how I feel. But I've kind of moved out of that. I still have the stuff, but like I said, the Eminem still mandatory spin as soon as it comes out, and he just keeps getting better and better. Like his writing and his technique, like he's amazing.
Yeah. And I bet a lot of it had to do with that too, just being like feeling really kind of like wayward and being able to identify with that like anger, and it was probably a vessel for that. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you listening to these days?
Oh my gosh, I just am obsessed with Elle King.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Tell me a little bit about Elle King.
So I'm going to send you. Well, funny enough, she is Rob Schneider's daughter, which is probably like not the way.
What? Rob Schneider?
Yeah. And after I found that out, I was like, oh, they do. They kind of look the same. Are you Googling her now?
No, I was trying to take Love Horrors off of my main screen over here. That's all I was trying to do. Yeah.
Like an indie rock, but she does have pop. She does have quite a few pop songs that if you heard it, you'd be like, oh, I know this song.
Okay.
But she's got a lot of indie rock that's really kind of like Janis Joplin-y or Fleetwood Mac. Like it's.
Oh, I like that. She's 31. She's 31 years old.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, Rob Schneider has a daughter that's 31.
And she is crazy. Like when you hear her voice, you're gonna be knocked off your feet.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check out some Elle King. I really loved the new Alanis Morissette record. It's so good.
Oh, I gotta hear it.
It's super good. And I can't think of anything new or that I've been listening to. I listen to the same. I listen to like the same 50 artists just my whole life over and over and over. And so to like listen to something new, it like takes like an act of Congress to like make me actually sit down and try something new. But
same.
Yeah, I'm very particular. I was so going back to Love Horrors. What are you looking forward to most about that right now? Like I said, I look forward to everything you guys are doing, and I love that it's it's almost monthly, right?
We're kind of, yes, it is almost monthly. What I'm looking forward to, so like our objectives here would probably be to make really short, concise sketches. Try and get episodes between 11 and 15 minutes, really 15 being the tops. We do not, like none of us are like in social media influencers or have some type of following. So we're trying to figure out a marketing plan, like how are we gonna get views on YouTube. And I'm still kind of torn on that too. I'm like, should we just focus on Instagram being like our main vessel of people seeing these videos or what? And so I don't know. You need like to go to Wharton Business School to figure this shit out. I'm thinking, but we're trial and airing it. So hopefully we get our viewership up. That's number one goal. I mean, in addition to writing hilarious sketches.
Yeah. I was talking to Emily about that the other day because she was mentioning like the viewership, and I was like, you know what? I think is like super important and super relevant that like when that viewership does, like when you do hit like where you want to be at with like the amount of subscribers and the amount of views and the amount of followers, you already have, because like somebody brand new follows you today, there's already 5 episodes for them to look at, right? Whereas they're not just going to come and have one thing. And like you keep, like, I think like it's so like important that you guys just keep putting out the content that you guys are putting out. And it's super funny and it's super good. And you guys like get better and take more chances and get more innovative and get more confident with every episode. And I think like that's super important. And like that's what you guys are doing right now, and you're doing it right, and you're doing it well, you know. So
Thanks. I want to keep it weird, keep it kind of like quirky. I love like I just like, we gotta we gotta try and incorporate like a claymation or cartoon
yeah,
in each episode, because I just think that's like a nice.
yeah, you know,
We're talking about puppets. Puppets would be fun to do
like
something with puppets.
you said, like, you know, you want to keep it weird, you want to keep it quirky, and of course you want to keep it likable. And when I think of Alicia Davis, Morgan Anderson, and Emily Peterson, all I can think of is weird, quirky, and likable. Like I I love you three so much, and I think you guys are weird, quirky, and super likable. So you have all the ingredients.
That's great. That's great. That's what we're striving for.
Yeah. Where do you have you envisioned like bringing it? Okay, because like at the very first, like Sacramento Comedy Spot was giving you guys a stage. You know, you guys did a show. They invited you guys back for a second show. Um, you know, a year from now, when things pretty much are normal, how are you envisioning a show at the Comedy Spot, or whatever stage? Right? Are you going to incorporate live and video?
Yes, I think so. We'll have, so like when we can go back to doing live performances, we want to be able to do stand up and then drop a screen to show sketches. And
Yeah.
then there's no like problem with like live performing, stage acting basically. I was like, that would be hard, because it's not like improv, because we like write scripts for this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Had you written scripts before this, or did this get you to start writing scripts?
Well, no,
You're a
I
writer, right? From like
yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I still see you as a writer. Like to me, you're a writer. You know,
yeah.
um,
I'm probably gonna be more of a writer than I'll ever be of a sketch actor. Because it's that's just really is out of my wheelhouse. Even though I'm doing it, I feel like I'm getting better and all that BS. But
you're
like,
you're I'm not, you're knocking it out of the park. You're at least hitting triples off the wall right now. I'm telling you, you're
okay,
doing great. You're doing great.
well, I'm gonna stay committed to writing. And Jesse, I've had the chillest summer of my whole entire life. Okay, like I teach at Sac State, right? And my summer school class got canceled. So I have been able to dedicate a lot of time to Love Whores. And then also I was working on a screenplay that for an idea that I had come up with, and was able to spend a lot of time on that this summer. But I do go back to school on Monday. So Monday, fall semester is starting. And I mean, I have put off all of my work until the last possible moment. Like I was writing syllabus last night, programming assignments online. And like tomorrow we're doing a Love Horse shoot. So I've got to like record some class lectures tonight. And I'm going from like 0 to 100. But I just know that like mid-December, everything will be chill mode again for like another month and a half.
Are you guys teaching online, or are you back in the classroom with students?
No, it's gonna be all online. So uh,
Do
I
you, do you love online? I love working from home. I I hope I never have to go back into the office again.
You might not have to. I mean, there are pros and cons, but it's hard to do it with the kids here. So I have to pre-record everything, and like I have to do a lot of that on weekends or late at night. But I agree, it's really nice. It is really nice to just like kind of wake up and drink coffee and like walk around your house with no stress.
I
Yeah.
have I haven't put on a pair of jeans since March.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
worn basketball shorts since March.
Yeah. It's been so casual and like, but I had a lot of anxiety the last 3 days because I'm like, I'm going to get back to work. But I'm like, I had a nightmare the other night that I was walking in front of my class. I've never had a dream like this before, where funny you said no pants, where you show up at some event and have no pants on.
Uh-huh.
But I was literally like standing in front of my classroom, writing on the board with absolutely no clothes on. And I was thinking to myself, like, why am I doing this? And my students were all being assholes to me. And then I like look over and the this advisor professor who always reviews me. So they have people that sit in on your classes every once in a
Right,
while. They
right.
review
Uh-huh.
me. He was there and he was looking at me like, what the hell's going on? At one point, I'm like, I better just put my clothes on. I didn't think I'd like enough time. And he looked at me like, yeah, you think? Like I woke up after that and I'm like, I am panicked. And then I saw my parents yesterday, and like the last people I should be around is my parents when I'm having like anxiety because I just project it all onto them. So
Oh,
we're ordering sandwiches at Roxy Deli in East Sac. And they're both acting like they've never ordered a sandwich before in their whole life and holding up the line. My kids and I are like 1 minute away from the deli, pulling the car up. And my mom's like, we're in line. Do you know the menu? We're just going to order for you. I'm like, can we just wait a minute? Like, I'm almost there.
yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people, parents and family, brings out the worst of their anxiety because they're the root of it. But
I know, but then it's like double shitty because they're like the most supportive and nicest people to you. Like they're the most forgiving people. And then you're like um, having no patience for them or like being short. So I know I like after that, I drove my kids up to Folsom and came home and fell asleep for 2 hours, which is really like, when you got a lot of shit to do, taking a 2 hour nap is probably not the smartest thing.
I don't know though, because sometimes a nap will like sometimes like I'll start thinking like how much I have to do today, and like me once it hits like 10 o'clock, I'm done. Like I'm tired. I'm not productive. I might be awake and in the room, but I'm not. You know, but
Yeah.
sometimes a 2 hour nap can give me the boost I need to get to like 11 and midnight and still be functioning. I don't know. It's really it's all just crazy, but yeah, I love working from home.
Oh my gosh. I do too. I really do.
Yeah, it's the best, and like I've been able to like just like how you said, let's just enjoy my cup of coffee. Like
Yeah.
I love being able to enjoy my cup of coffee and being able to like I just get up every day at 9:30 and make myself breakfast, and like so I'm not like worried about like because like with me like I worry so much about everything I eat. Like I can't be like when I'm working, like it's so much easier for me to say, well, I'll just swing by McDonald's on the way to work, or
Yeah.
like I'll just like go over here to Starbucks and grab, and then before I know it, I spent $100 on eating out, and like I feel like crap because I've been eating crap. And
Yeah.
this whole pandemic, I've been really good, and like I don't want to go back to the office, but they just told us last week that we're definitely working from home for the rest of the year.
That's awesome.
So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
Almost excited enough to forget that there's a freaking pandemic outside, But even with the pandemic, I pretty much have my routine down to like, I go shopping here, and like I don't know, I'm fine with it right now.
Oh, yeah, same. Like, I think when I have my kids over the weekend, we maybe go to the grocery store one time, but we're in the house for it'll be like 5 or 6 days straight. straight, never leaving.
Yeah.
It's
You know what I was telling somebody, I wanted to ask you this. So like I moved into my house like in October will be 3 years, right?
uh
And it's the first home I've owned, right? Had apartments before, had roommates before, lived at home before, of course. Um, it's my first home. And being home so much during the pandemic has really helped me like really like start like rearranging the living room and start like I finally feel like I live here. Like the house is like the house is like growing around me. Like I'm growing into it. Like have you
yeah,
felt that? Have you felt more at home in your because you're home, you're recent in your house too, right? Not a
yeah.
super long time.
No, we moved in like 2 years ago. So it was July 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Same. Like I do notice when I'm like, I guess before when I'd move a lot, what's kind of nice about moving a lot is you never really have to deep clean anything. It's like, but now I'm like, okay, like walls are dirty, kitchen cabinets are dirty, and I need to be better about that kind of stuff.
I was looking at my walls the other day and I was like, "Oh, maybe I need to paint the walls." Like, so I'm starting to. But you know who really set me on this? I was at Tina San Lucas's house the other day, and she was telling me how they made the decision when they bought that home that they wanted it to feel like they were on vacation when they were in their house, that they wanted it like because they knew they were going to spend so much time there, like it was going to be their forever home, that they wanted it to feel like a paradise, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm like, you're absolutely right, like I should really feel that way about my house too. And so I think I've really been really enjoying my house the last 2 or 3 months.
You're nesting.
Yeah, totally. I'm nesting here. Me and my girls, Emily. Like I was like, dude, I have like three. It's Emily, Elsie, and Penelope, all girls. Like,
That's great.
and
Yeah.
they crack me up because like sometimes they'll walk back inside from like Emily will go outside and smoke a cigarette, and all three of them will go outside and they'll walk. All three of them will walk back in, and like they all have like this little attitude. I'm like, yeah.
The girl gang.
Yeah, they definitely have a girl gang, and but they haven't ganged up on me just yet. Everything's going great. I freaking oh my Emily moving in just really saved my sanity. Like I was absolutely going crazy by myself, and I'm so glad she moved in. She's been here like I think 3 months now. I don't know.
Yeah, because it was the beginning of July, I think. Or wait,
Yes,
was
I
it
think it was June.
Yeah, it was June.
It was June. It was like the middle. It was like the first or second week of June.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember talking to you like a few months into the shelter in place and just thinking like I should just go like sit on your front porch and we can like talk through your window screen.
Oh God, did I sound that bad? Were you like, oh, poor Jesse's losing
So
it?
I was just like blown away because even when like I was talking to someone and they're like, oh, my ex-husband. He's like, oh, I'm just really glad to have kids during this time because I know a lot of people who are just not doing well. And I'm like, listen, it's not worth falling into this deepest dark depression over, like fuck, human beings are not wired to be locked up in isolation, like our our personal solitary confinement. So it's like after a certain point, and you don't want to get too far gone to where it's hard to recognize like, oh, I'm feeling terribly depressed because I haven't seen anybody in a month and a half. But I know it's not good at all to be completely cut off.
Yeah, it was not. I remember something that kind of kept me grounded too is it was like the third week of the lockdown, and I hadn't like spoken to anybody
Uh,
like, on the phone, yes, but like in like face to face, right?
yeah.
And my pesticide guy came over, right? And I fucking went out there. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
And then he was like an older gentleman, and I was like, "So how you dealing with the lockdown, man? Are you handling the isolation? It's kind of crazy out there." He looked at me. He was like, "I grew up in Iraq. My family fled in the middle of the night," and I was like, "All right." It's like there's definitely been harder times for humans than these 3 weeks that I haven't been able to go to clubs. So
No, it's the same situation with my next door neighbor. He's probably like 80 to 90 years old. I don't know, but I know whenever I run into him, it's a 15-minute conversation, because same thing, he needs to talk to somebody. And I was like, sometimes I have to move real quick or like hide. But for the most part, I acknowledge that he has not talked to anybody probably in like 4 days. So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
let him tell me the same stories over and over again.
Oh, that's just all us old guys.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, listen, Alicia, it's been really great talking with you. Um, I'm super excited about the next Love Horrors. Do you have any idea when that will be out? September, October?
Okay, let's see. I think the
It
beginning,
is.
beginning
Today
to middle
is
of
August.
October.
Yeah, probably October because you said you wanted to be
Yeah.
like Halloween themed.
Tomorrow's our first shoot day for the next episode. We've written 2 scripts and we've got our ideas for all of the rest of them. So I bet middle October.
Right. Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys soon. We're gonna have a birthday hang.
I can't wait, Jeffy, your birthday. It's going to be super fun.
I'm super excited. I'm not even sad that it's like, oh, you can't have a big party. I'm like, I'm cool with the 3 people that are coming over.
I agree.
I'm super excited about hanging out with you guys. Like I said, we got like our little quarantine that I feel super comfortable and safe with, and we're in the backyard anyway. But I think as soon as this stupid air clears up,
Yeah.
I'm pretty ready to start hitting that open mic in the park, and that and I even kind of wanted to go to Vince's last night, but the air quality got bad.
Are they doing that just in the parking lot?
Yeah, there's some pictures of it, and they're in the parking lot.
Okay.
I was ready to go to Vince's last night, but that, like I said, the air quality just got bad, and I was like, I waited this long. Yeah, I could wait 2 more weeks, but I've been writing, and I've got some ideas, and I can't wait to try out some new stuff. And
Plus, it's like, it's probably better to be on the second wave of people who go out and start hitting the clubs and stuff in case people do come down with the coronavirus.
yeah, definitely.
Let them see, like they're the test group.
Yeah, definitely. I don't mind playing it safe right now. But hey, man, thanks for. Sorry that I rescheduled on you when I realized today.
We were shooting for 10 a.m. That was like crazy ambitious for a Saturday.
Oh, I like doing stuff early because then I spend the rest of the day editing. But then I remember today was record store day, and
did you get? I saw some pictures on Instagram.
Yeah. I got the Cure, Billie Eilish, New Order, and the Black Crowes.
Oh, cool.
And I already listened to the Billie Eilish like 3 times. It's so good. It's so good. I'm excited about it. And I got all my records in order. Like they're categorized and alphabetized. I'm super excited for you guys to come over, and we're gonna hang out and listen to records. And I hope, are they still having the boxing match?
I have no idea.
Because that's how it all started, right? Like I told you guys to come over and watch the boxing match, but I haven't even heard anything if it's still going to happen. But we're still going to get together.
Oh, because Mike Tyson's coming back.
Yeah, that's what. Let me see. I'm gonna Google it real quick. I started using my work setup.
Yeah, you need 2 screens. It's perfect.
Yeah, a frustrated Roy Jones Jr. might pull out of Tyson fight. That's 3 days ago. Yes, Roy Jones Jr. was upset that his fight with Mike Tyson changed, but he is not backing out of bout. Oh, now the fight's November 28th.
Oh.
Well, I guess we're just going to hang out. There's no boxing match then. Okay. All right. But
well, that's great. That's great. Now we don't have to watch TV. We could like just talk.
Yeah. Now we can hang out outside.
Yeah.
All right. Alicia Davis, thank you for your time.
Jesse.
I will plug Love Horrors for you. Don't worry. They're going to know where to find you guys. I always crack up like when I listen to a podcast and like people say, oh, like follow me on Instagram at, I'm like, no one's writing this shit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, if you haven't figured Google out by now, like you got other issues. So
that's so true. I don't know. I love horrors. Probably like the other night when we were in Ronan Park, and she's like, "Give me like your bio or like the introduction," and I'm like, "Well, I also am doing this web series called Love Horrors," and then I'm like, "Oh, how are people going to Google this?" Like.
Yeah.
How to explain every time we have to explain like horrors. But
that's where you just got to hand out the stickers afterwards.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's where you just got to hand out the stickers afterwards, and so that way it's just plastered everywhere.
Yeah.
That's my approach to it.
Well, we got our T-shirts now too.
Yeah, and you got your hats. I got my Love Horse cap right here. So.
Oh, that looks great.
This is such a great hat.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Emily did all of the merchandising. She did a great job.
Yeah. And the logo by Evan T. Lilly, who did. Yeah, and then the shirts were printed by Sacramento Made, who Sacramento Made this shirt that I'm wearing. So I love those guys. Great people.
That's rad.
Right. Awesome. Okay, Alicia. Well, thanks, and I will get in touch with you soon.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.